I ranked all 9 Aniimo types using nothing but type chart math, so let's dive right in. In the bottom 2 places, we have water and grass types. These are the only 2 types with 3 weaknesses, which is a huge disadvantage, especially since they don't have much else to make up for it. Except that water does have the rare perk of being resistant to 4 elements, but that is also somewhat neutralized by being resisted by 4 elements as well. As such, I value grass being resisted by 1 less element slightly more than I value water having 1 extra resistance, but I will still give both of them a rating of 1 Anipod. But these are perfect examples of the usual disclaimers, because water and grass can still be strong in the right scenarios, Chero can pretty much one-shot bosses, and the legendary Irizalis has the highest ultimate multiplier in the game right now. So situationally, any element can be amazing, but the elemental chart is still stacked against these 2 on paper. At number 7 and 6 we have fire and ice types. These have the exact same number of elemental relations across the board, and while now they're at least weak to only 2 elements, both are also resisted by 4 elements, which is their main drawback. So my tiebreaker here is going to be the fact that fire is weak to dark, which is already one of the most popular types in Aniimo for both its edgy designs and type coverage, but I'm giving them both a rating of 1.5 Anipods. Coming in at number 5 we have Earth, which has similar elemental relations to fire and ice, except with 1 extra resistance, and is also only really bad against the bottom tier elements except dark, which is going to be enough for it to earn the slightly higher rating of 2 Anipods. At number 4 we have Electric, which has 1 less resistance than Earth, but is also resisted by 1 less element, which I value slightly higher. But what really makes Electric special is that it is the only element that resists the Light type, which I expect is going to make it even more valuable in the long term. As such, I'm gonna give it a baseline rating of 2.5 Anipods. Then entering the top 3, at number 3 and 2 we have Dark and Wind. Dark being the epitome of the best defense being a good offense, as the only element that deals more damage against 3 other elements, but also the only element that resists only 1. On the other hand, Wind is just a great element all around, being weak to and resisted by only 2 elements, while also resisting 3 itself. I would say Dark and Wind are actually very close overall in terms of rating, depending on whether you value more 1 extra effectiveness or 2 extra resistances. But for the sake of a tiebreaker, I'm putting Wind in second place for the simple fact that it is also effective and resistant against Dark itself. But ultimately, I'm giving both a rating of 3 Anipods. And lastly, yes, the Light type is that good, the uncontested winner of this list by far, but also a very thematically exclusive element in the game, only shared by the 2 starter Aniimo as well as some of the rare Prismata forms. It is one of the only 3 elements that resists 4 elements, but what makes Light so strong is that it is weak against only 1 element, against which it also deals more damage, so it effectively counters its own counter. It is also resisted by only 1 element other than itself, making it the best element overall with a full rating of 5 Anipods. So here's the final recap of all 9 element rankings, but as you can see, Light is so strong it single-handedly distorts the entire list. So if we normalize the ratings from 1 to 5 without the Light type, it would look more like this, which does help contextualize some elements a bit better. But either way, the story doesn't end here. There are actually 36 more type combinations in the game because of dual types, which I will save for a later video when the game releases. But just to put it into perspective, if we account for all 45 type combinations, then the standalone Light type actually drops to a rating of 2.5 Anipods instead of 5, which goes to show how strong some dual types really are. For now, this is a simpler baseline ranking in a vacuum of the 9 elements, but let me know if you're interested in seeing the full list with dual types or accounting with specific Aniimos and teams as well. And as always, subscribe for in-depth Aniimo content and I'll see you on the next one.